Today marks 1531st day of daily lessons, daily reflections, and today we speak about rock bottom. I think that's such an interesting topic, rock bottom. When you reach the rock bottom, what do you do? I think that people who achieve massive success, they always say that rock bottom sometimes was a blessing, the best thing for them, and said that I don't wish you experienced that, but sometimes that could be the best thing for you. And I was reflecting on that because when you hit that rock bottom, at that moment, that doesn't automatically change you to be better. At the rock bottom, you still need to make a choice. You still need to make a choice. You will become better or you become bitter. Because I think that a lot of people who hit rock bottom stay there, sometimes even for a lifetime, because they're just not willing to really make necessary changes in their life that they could really get out of that rock bottom. Because it's known that people who bounce from that rock bottom bounce much, 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 much farther ahead than people who never bounced, who were always very, very stagnant, a little grow, a little bit, little, but never bounce strongly to above and beyond. And I was thinking what kind of things I would love to really share about rock bottom. And I think that the biggest thing that I learned as well that rock bottom could be hit by a couple of reasons. So the one reason is that your choices, daily choices that you make every single day is leading to rock bottom and you are not willing to change until you hit the rock bottom. So that means that you never needed to hit that rock bottom. You knew that you're going downhill. You knew that you're working, but you're not. You're hoping that something will change, and that hope sometimes is not the best thing. Sometimes we need to really adjust and pivot, and really we don't need to hit that rock bottom because our daily choices lead to rock bottom. And sometimes we can really, when you look into our daily actions and you say, okay, how I'm doing, I'm getting better, I'm getting worse. If I'm getting worse and I keep doing the same thing, of course, it will lead to rock bottom at some point. And in everything, in your finances, in your relationships, in your health, in your mentality, with emotions, everything. So that means when you look into your energies and your budgets, if you see that you're going down over and over and again, that means that there's something needs to change. And sometimes people are not willing to change until they finally reach that rock bottom. But again, a lot of people doesn't need to go to rock bottom before they actually change. Now, second thing that I think that people hit the rock bottom is external. Some people don't have a choice. There's external circumstances just hit them so hard that they just didn't have a choice. It didn't happen over time, slowly. They didn't add up little by little, but just one big thing that's happened is smashed right into the rock bottom. And I think that for those, sometimes it's even easier to bounce back because now they know that they didn't have any control it, and now they just need to bounce as hard, and their back is to the wall, and there's nowhere to go, and they just need to go forward. And there's so many success stories where people really just had couple dollars in their bank account, and they knew that they need to do something. And there's people who just slowly end up being there, and sometimes people who just slammed in that rock bottom, and they need to really bounce from that. And I was thinking as well, um, that sometimes we wait for the rock bottom because we want to avoid that responsibility right now, and we're hoping that while avoiding, someone else will take care of us. And that's why I think that one of the truths that we need to learn is that nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. And I think that sometimes we're hoping that someone will come up and help us out. That thought that someone will help us out will lead us into rock bottom. When you said nobody's coming to save me, and I need to really take care of me. And again, that's the threat. Hitting that rock bottom sometimes is a gift because it really allows you to reflect, build more awareness, recalibrate your discipline, recalibrate yourself, choose different routines, and making sure that. And I think that one thing that about rock bottom is that sometimes rock bottom is your standard rock bottom. because I really loved the lesson that I learned. There is two standards. One is the high standard, how you execute on a good day, and the bottom is how you execute on a bad day. And sometimes when you think about the finances and your health, and your standard is certain weight or certain amount of money, and when you reach that standard, that rock bottom, at that moment it's like no more spending, no more eating, no more not taking care of myself. So that means that sometimes rock bottom is our minimal standard. What is the standard? Because for some people, that rock bottom is much lower than for you, and vice versa. It could be that for someone's rock bottom, it's it's your still a high standard. And I think that's extremely important to understand that where that rock bottom is, because sometimes people have different rock bottoms in their personalities. So, last couple of things that I want to mention is that um, I think that sometimes we could potentially be doing a lot of different things, hustling, blaming, waiting, and I think that's at rock bottom, being able to say, okay, this strategy doesn't work, this path doesn't work. So that means that we're able to say that the strategy that I really hope it will work, but it doesn't work. So we're able finally to quit on the things that do not work. And I think that's one of the biggest things and the helpful things about rock bottom, because you reevaluate what works and what doesn't work. And I think we're supposed to do always that. And I think that's the most important part on really hitting the rock bottom is that we need to take ownership of our life. Take ownership. Stop blaming and be present when you take ownership. Because I think that one of the beautiful things is when we are present, you're able to understand, okay, what's going on right now. Because one of the most beautiful questions that I really love is, what could I do now? And this is extremely powerful question when you rock bottom. Because when you rock bottom, a lot of times everything seems is going sideways. So when everything goes sideways, where to start? What to do? I don't have resources, and I have this, and I have this, and I have this. But it's the question, what could I do now with the resources that I have, with the energy that I have, with what all the things that is going on well and it doesn't go well, with everything knowing what it is right now, what still could I do now? And that's that question is solution to your question, and you understand that there is always something that you could do, that you can do now. And I think that that's again is very empowering qu- question, because it leads to the answers, because you always want to find something that you can do right now. So I hope you just win and see you tomorrow.